Does FL Studio 11 sound better than the newer versions of FL Studio? This is a debate that's been plaguing the producer community for years. As a matter of fact, I found this video by producer and sound designer Decap doing a test comparison between the two. So we're getting scientific at this point. I like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video. I'm gonna give my thoughts on it as well. So that way you walk away with double the value. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Discovered. This is FL Studio 11. I took a screenshot of it on my machine that runs Parallels because I don't have a Windows laptop. You can make a track in FL 11, render it, and then print it from FL Studio 20. What I noticed by default, when you open FL 11, there's a limiter on the master, just like FL 20. But when you look at the limiter, the gain knob is set to 5.5 decibels of gain. Now check this out. I'm gonna open a new blank FL Studio template in FL 20. This is the default FL 20 template. As you can see, limiter on the master. Check that out. The gain is set to 0. I'm gonna load up the default FL Studio 11 template. I saved it on my Windows computer. Gain is up 5.5 decibels. What's interesting about that is people say that FL Studio 11 and FL Studio 20 sound different. They do. By default, when you load sounds in, they're gonna be louder. Human ear, when it hears something louder, it automatically thinks better.
Yeah, let me say this, 5.5 dB of gain is pretty loud. That's a sizable difference. You know, if I play a beat at one volume, then I push it up 5.5 dB, it's gonna sound and feel like it just has more impact and punch and body, especially if it's mixed at least relatively decently. The higher I crank it up, the harder it's gonna feel like it's hitting, and just, it sounds better. You know, if you're hitting a Spins 808 on your MIDI board and you're using a trap snare, and you just banging out, and then you lose 5.5 dB of gain, I can see why people come to the conclusion that FL 11 is, you know, better, and it snaps and it just hits harder. And I've been kind of wondering why I see on different cookup videos people using such older versions of FL Studio. I'm like, we have way more features that we can use now. You're still using FL 11, and you know, this type of information spreads relatively quickly, and people don't want to miss out or lose anything to the competition. So I kind of get why people feel like better safe than sorry, but fortunately we have videos like this to set the record straight on exactly what's happening.
Took it a step further. I made a beat in FL Studio 11, took that beat, opened it in FL Studio 20, printed it out in FL Studio 11 and FL Studio 20, and they phase canceled. So that goes to show you that FL 11 and FL 20 do not sound different. FL Studio 11 and FL Studio 20 sound exactly the same. So don't spread that rumor, y'all. It's not true. They don't have different saturation. They just look different. The FL limiter turned up by 6.5 decibels on 11 gives you the illusion that it's hitting.
And when he says phase cancellation, some of you guys may not be aware of this. This is called the null test. This means you have two waveforms and you put them right on top of each other. You put them right in sync with each other, and then you flip the waveform. And then if it's absolute silence, that means that they're the exact same. So just want to provide a little context on exactly what that term means. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about that? Is it true? Is this all just been misinformation that's just been cycled over through the music production community? Or do you feel like there's still something else? Something inside you tells you that FL 11 is still better. So, you know, I understand it's kind of difficult to let go of old beliefs, especially if you feel like they're, you know, they're really, really true. But, you know, here we have it. So let me know what you guys think. And also, you know, are you going to upgrade to the newer versions of FL Studio, FL Studio 25 and forward and on and beyond? So let me know in the comment. I'm interested to know you guys' thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe. My name is Desmond A, and I'll be back with more great videos. Peace. Desmond A.